Hi, my name is Daniel Andre Osterreich, and for the last 5 years I have a successful OnlyFans agency. And in today's video I'm going to show you what it means to have a vision for the future, alright? Now, before we get started, I like to address the fact that there's a lot of tutorials out there and I watch a lot of them, but what I found out that most of them are too long, too complicated, and just simply too overwhelming, alright? So I created an easy and simple tutorial for you guys, which will make you understand the power of a vision, which goes hand in hand, by the way, with your mindset, alright? So make sure you watch that video as well. Great? Okay, let's get started. So the first thing that I want to talk about is a common thing that all successful people have. Now, you need to have a desire to be wealthy. We all get what we want in life. What this means is if you want a certain phone, you probably already have it. If you want a certain type of shoes, you will get it. If you want a console, you will get it, okay? The reason why rich people are rich is because they want to be rich, okay? They have a burning desire to get where they want to go. Now, what you have to understand is that nobody will come knocking at your door and say, hey, I got this system for you. If you do these 3 things, you will be rich in 2 months, all right? It's not like that. You have to have a desire to be wealthy and then you will get wealthy. Okay, next. So the use of windows of opportunity. Sometimes we get a window of opportunity in life. For most people, this never happens. Lucky people get it once, very lucky people will get it twice. Now the key is to recognize it, to keep your eyes open, because most people, they get a window of opportunity but they never even see it, all right? So when this happens, when you got a window of opportunity, you need to have a commitment to work twice as hard, all right? So no 40-hour work week. Don't kid yourself, man. If you think that rich people became wealthy or rich because they didn't work their ass off, you can keep dreaming. They work their ass off, put in 80-hour weeks, and that's how you become successful. All right? So, next, I got this straight line of vision. I designed this one myself, actually. How this works is actually pretty simple, because how you see yourself in the future is basically what you become, okay? Of course, the other thing also comes into play, which I just showed you, right? What the common things that successful people have. But what you need to understand is if you see yourself as somebody average in the future, just have an average life, just having a 9-to-5 job, this is how you will end up, okay? So see yourself as somebody extraordinary. So how this works is actually pretty simple, because how you see yourself in the future is what you become. Of course, the other things that I just showed you come also into play. So it all starts how you see yourself. Make sure you envision every detail of this vision of yourself. What car you have, what you are wearing, your villa, how your parents look at you. Every aspect of your vision needs to be clear as daylight. Super important. Now, if you look at this red line that I made, this is your lifeline basically that leads to your vision, okay? At the beginning, you were born some time ago, right? And now you are in the now point, in this position, right? So this is when you watch the video, let's say. Now the past has happened. There's nothing we can do about it anymore. The only thing we can do from the past is learn from it, all right? Now what you need to do for yourself at this point is make goals that lead to your vision, all right? Now, it is important that you take small steps to your vision, because if you think like, oh, I have $1 billion in my future and I have this and that, it's just too far away. So take small steps, small goals that will lead to your vision in the end, okay? Now, what is very important is that the goals that you make need to be great goals, right? Hard goals. Don't make easy goals, because easy goals create averageness and hard goals create greatness. Now, of course, don't make the goals impossible. Make them a little bit higher than what you think you can reach, okay? That's the best way to go forward, right? Great. So, what in life usually happens is that goals tend to fail. Now, normally, if you don't have a vision and you just have a goal and it fails, you're gonna have a very unempowered life. If you let your happiness be about your goals and you fail a goal, you're gonna feel like shit. Now, for me, it's very simple. So for me, if a goal doesn't pan out, I don't care, because I still have my vision, right? It's above it. Now, of course, I don't make these goals to just fail them. You make a goal to reach the goal, right? That's how it works. But don't let your happiness depend on your goals. Let your happiness depend on your vision, okay? That's super important. All right, next. I believe in the multiverse, okay? That's me. I think there's an infinite version of ourselves in different dimensions. That means that there's a version right now of you out there that basically is homeless, or even worse, is a junkie or in jail or whatever you want to call it. But it means also that there are versions of you out there in the dimensions, in the different dimensions, that is rich, successful, maybe you're even the president of a country, okay? Or the richest person in the world. So don't choose average, choose extraordinary. See yourself as a winner, see yourself as the best, and think of all the good things that come with it, right? Buy everything your heart wished for, a fast car, a villa, even a yacht. See the world in style, have your own private jet, go on vacations to beautiful places. But also, take care of your loved ones, take care of your family, take care of people that are sick, build a church, whatever you want to do. Be the best version of yourself, because you, right now, you can become a millionaire. All right, next. So, I want to talk a little bit about my past. What you need to understand is that success and failure go hand in hand together, okay? There is no success without failure. And I wish that somebody told me this before when I was a lot younger, because most people, they try once or twice, don't have a vision, just a goal, and they just give up, okay? They go back to their old life, the 9-to-5 job, and they keep on going like that. The hard truth is, though, that if you start your life as an entrepreneur, 9 out of your 10 businesses will probably fail, okay? So if you cannot deal with failures as a person, it's gonna become very, very hard to become successful. Now, some of you might have the luck that your first business started to pan out really great, but when you had your business, also then stuff goes wrong, right? It could be that somebody quit, maybe there was a competitor that got a better product, whatever it is. What you need to understand that even when you have a business, things still fail in your business, okay? So if you have this mindset or this vision that it's not gonna happen for you, you're not gonna make it as an entrepreneur. That's why it's so important that you have a vision for yourself. Now, when I was a kid, as you can see at the picture above in black and white, this is a picture from my yearbook. I was 12 years old. This is made in the Netherlands. This is where I'm from. And they asked us all at the end, I remember that, what do you want to be in 20 years, right? So I remember watching all that stuff and reading to it, and everybody wanted to be a cook, a mechanic, an engineer, blah, blah, blah. But I already knew back then that I wanted to be a millionaire, okay? I already had this vision. Now, I remember everybody was laughing at me with that kind of stuff, but I already had this vision. I didn't care people laugh at me, okay? Now, when I grew a little bit older, and remind yourself, I was from a pretty bad neighborhood where there was basically no wealth. My parents weren't rich, although they loved me a lot and gave me everything they could. I had a moment where I was just partying and not focusing on my vision anymore, okay? I'm pretty sure that some of you right now have the same problem. You kind of lost your dream along the way. You are not the person right now that you are truly in your heart, okay? So I saw everybody poor around me, and I thought this is what life is going to be. Then, when I was 23 years old, I got my shit together, okay? I started working as a sales agent, making some money, and I started some business ventures at this point, okay? First, I had a clothing shop, and it completely failed, basically. Lost all my money. Then I made some money again. I did a car rental, and it failed again completely. So then I thought, well, maybe I'm gonna take some jobs that make me good money. They never amounted to anything because I refused to accept that I'm just average and there's an average life for me, okay? I knew there's more. So fast forward till I was 30 years old. I was still broke. But I met Jordan Belfort, and he taught me his craft, okay? Needless to say, this was the turning point in my life. He's also known as the Wolf of Wall Street, but what he later did in his life is made a DVD box called The Straight Line of Persuasion. You can buy it now from his website, where he teaches step by step what he was teaching to these 18-year-old kids, right, in the movie, selling to millionaires many times over. Now you have to understand that millionaires, they are smart people. They are not idiots that will just buy, okay? So he was teaching them how to use the right body language, the right tonality to make them say yes. Now this is super important. It's not just that, but it's also about having a vision for yourself and having the right mindset. Now you have to understand that these kids that he was teaching this to, they were not super smart people or just super extraordinary people. They were just average people like you and me. But he taught them how to get a vision, and they propelled from that moment on to something really, really great. Okay, guys? Okay, next. So finally, my luck was changing. I was 33 years old when I started to make money. I will tell you my little backstory about how it all happened. I started making money with puppies, basically. So what happened is I'm from Holland. And in my country, everything costs money, literally everything. Even if you take air from a pump to put your tire, they want money from it. So even air costs money. It's kind of scandalous, but whatever. I had a girlfriend back then who was from a different country, a Eastern European country, basically, okay? So we went there on a holiday, and what happened is we were completely broke, by the way. I had a piece of shit Honda, I remember, from 1996. It was falling apart. We went there for a family holiday. She had family there, visit her family. And I remember she said, like, hey, why don't we take a dog back home, right? So I was like, a dog? Are you crazy? Puppy dog? First of all, we don't have money. And second of all, you know, we have nothing going for us. She said, no, but puppies are free here. I'm like, what? Puppies are free? Are you sure? And she said, yeah. So she showed me on a page like eBay, you know, all kinds of nests with puppies for free. So I was like, what the fuck? So I knew back then, if I get these puppies to Holland, because there's no such thing as free, they're worth like $500-600 per pup. So I knew at that point, my luck is going to change. So what I did the first time, I took 4 puppies back to Holland, took them to the veterinarian, made sure their health was checked, they got vaccinated, and they got a Dutch passport at this point. Then I was selling them online, okay? Now, of course, what I learned from Jordan Belfort helped tremendously with this. So what happened is, after 2 weeks, I sold the puppies, and I made over $2,400, okay? So back then, I knew my luck is going to change. So I went in the car, drove immediately back to the Eastern European country and got more puppies. So I kept doing this, and I was at a point I was making around $12,000 every month, clean in my pocket, profit, okay? So I already had a vision again. I thought, okay, if I put the dogs at more families, I can sell more, I can have other people selling for more, blah, 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 and it grew and it grew and it grew. Now what happened back then is Corona came. Now I'm not sure what happened at your place, but in my country and in Europe, generally all the borders closed, right? So there was no more driving puppies over the borders. So I had to come up with something else. And this is what I'm talking about. Sometimes you have a business, but things go wrong in the business and you need to somehow get it going again, right? So the puppies were basically finished. So I knew at this point, with all the money I made, that I have about 6 months of comfortable living ahead of me, right? Now, I lived in poverty and I will never ever go back to poverty again. That's just not gonna happen, right? So I thought, I have to do something. So I saw on a website that you can put an advertisement of a pretty girl. You get in messages and you can make money on it, right? First, I didn't believe in it because basically who's gonna pay for that shit, right? I mean, everything is for free on the internet. Who's gonna pay for porn? I couldn't believe it, but I thought I have nothing to lose, let's try it out. Now, I'm not kidding. The first day when I was doing it and I was completely new with it, I made $350. The second day I was doing it, $500. So I knew back then, I thought, hey, what the fuck is this, man? This is crazy. I have to make, this can change my life forever, man. And this is not even about $10,000 anymore. I can make like 20, 30, 50, 100K a month. So what happened is, I had another vision again and I started to see all these goals in front of me. Okay, if I make a formula, and that's the chatting formula actually, that's the same thing that you can watch in the other video. That's the formula I made. It took me 3 days to make. And at that point, I'm not kidding you guys, I was making every day at least $1,400, okay? Sometimes $2,000, sometimes $3,000. Now keep in mind, I was working for 14 hours straight, 7 days a week. Why? Because there was a window of opportunity and I had the commitment to work twice as hard. Now remind yourself, I was already 33, 35 years old at this point. I was not 18 anymore and it was not party life. I knew hey, life is going on right now, I have to be fast. So I grabbed the opportunity and I started banking on it. Now, all the money I was making, I was saving, okay? I didn't spend it on luxurious cars or watches, suits, or whatever you want to call it. I knew that the money that I was making, right? You're at this age that you don't just throw it away anymore. You did that before already with some business ventures you had. So I kept the money, which was really, really important. And I started to invest it in other things. And one of the things is I started a company called Wolfpack Entertainment. Now, this company still exists, and it is basically a OnlyFans agency. Now, what I did then is I started to grow my team, because you can only do so much yourself, right? Being a lone wolf is not what you want to be. A wolf hunts in a pack, so I created my own pack, okay? So what I advise you is to do the same. Make sure you have a team. Of course, the team will only believe in you if you have certain successes, or if you're a great salesperson and you know how to influence and persuade. But there needs to be some success story attached to it, all right? Now, fast forward again a little bit. With Wolfpack Entertainment, I was selling on different platforms. Send me a message, I can give it to you. You can sell also on there. It's really easy. It's not as much money as OnlyFans, but definitely enough to make. I was making around $50,000 a month at that point. And then OnlyFans came across my path. Now, I always wanted to sell my content in the United States. The other platforms that I used are not from the United States, so I made sure that Europe was in my hands basically, and I made a lot of money. Like I said, the 50K a month was an easy thing to reach. Now, mind yourself, at that point, I had 12 chatters, I had a big office, chat manager, I had a post manager, I had a bookkeeper, you know, the whole 9 yards basically, okay? So, later in life, OnlyFans came across my path, and like I said, I wanted to sell to American people. That was always my dream, because I know they have a shitload of money. This is the country where porn originated from, basically. They're all porn hungry. It's just a fucking gold mine, okay? So when I started doing OnlyFans, this is when my life really fucking changed. Check out my Instagram. You can see all the nice toys I have, the great life I'm living right now. And this is something you can do too, okay? But it's important that you have a vision for yourself, because it all started seeing myself in this future way where I'm super successful. I have all the cars I want, you know, I wear nice suits, I have a nice apartment, I have multiple properties around the world. This is what makes the difference. All right, guys? Okay, next. So at this point right now, Wolfpack Entertainment grew to a very large entity. The company exists for 5 years, and there are more brands that I started. So I have OnlyGlance, which basically allows me to find new models. This is something you also can do. In the beginning, you have to find them on Instagram yourself, but models will also watch these kind of videos, and if they say, hey, this guy really knows what he's talking about, they will send you a DM and ask, hey, can you make me money, please, or can I join your agency, right? So that's OnlyGlance. I have also Viva La Chat. Viva La Chat is a site where we do the chats for agencies and for individuals. So if you're struggling with your chats, we can do it for you. We have some really nice offers in there. Tilkofans is the Polish version of where I'm right now to get girls from the Eastern European countries to do OnlyFans. This is a really nice way to start, because they are much more eager to work with you, because for them $1,000 is a lot of money and $10,000 is the world for them, okay? So it's an easy way to find girls. Now, Rhodium sites is another thing I did. In this case, we do marketing for individuals and for companies, and we build websites. Now, I did this because I don't want to bet all my money on one horse. It's important that you spread your investments, right? Because if something goes wrong, you have always something else that still goes for you. Now, what I did later is also open a Wolfpack Cancer Foundation. What we do is we help little kids that suffer from cancer. And we also have Wolfpack Animals Foundation, where we help out animals. Now, I did this not only because it's the right thing to do, but also to balance it out, right? You are basically selling adult content, which is not the most ethical thing. But right now, literally, these guys jerking off to the content of the models is saving lives, okay? So there you go. All right, next, guys. So what are the long-term benefits for you as an expert influencer and a persuader, okay? Now, I believe myself that sales is everything. Without sales, nothing is happening in the world, okay? You have to imagine that even Sales is not just selling a pen to somebody. It's also if you want your kid to do something like clean the room, you also need to say it in a certain way that he will clean the room or she, right? Now also, if you have an idea and you want to create a team that helps you with the idea, you need to be able to influence them and persuade them to work for you and to accept this idea, right? So that's why, I mean, sales is everything in the world, and without that specific thing, nothing is happening. Now, being an expert influencer and persuader, it will give you a higher income. It's simple as that. Why? Because you'll be able to sell more things. You will be able to sell your product better. You will get investments, whatever you want to call it, right? You have a stronger personal brand. Your leadership abilities become greater because you see yourself in this future. And if you can influence, people are more likely to follow you. Makes sense, right? There will be more business opportunities because other businesses will want to work with people like that, right? You have an increased confidence. I don't have to explain that. Better networking and relationships, because if you talk as a winner, as a visionary, people are much more easier to work with you, okay? Enhanced problem and solving skills. Like I said, if you see yourself as this future guy that knows everything, you will know everything, okay? Greater freedom and control. Now, freedom is everything. If you want to sit in an office making some other dude rich that you work for, go ahead, man. I rather make myself rich and reap the benefits from it, okay? Stronger negotiation skills. Think about if you buy a car, if you buy a house, property, or whatever it might be, your negotiation skills will be on top so you can make more, better deals, all right? Legacy and influence. So for me, it's not only about making money and saving children and having an animal foundation. For me, it's also about my legacy. One day we will die, and if you do nothing and you're just average, what will happen is 10 years from now, nobody will remember your name anymore, right? In 100 years from now, your grave will even be emptied and they put another grave in there because there's not enough room. You will be forgotten in history. So why not have a legacy? Why not have streets named after you? Maybe even a city or whatever, right? Why not? You only live once, make the best out of it. Be the best version of yourself in the universe. For me, it's super important to have a legacy as well, and that's why I became an influencer and a persuader. Okay, guys? Great. Next, you have the chance to become successful, okay? The first step is already completed. You made it through the video, so feel good about yourself, man. Your first goal, you already get through it. Most people don't even care about this. They sit in front of the television, play a video game, or chase some stupid girl. You already made this through the video, so the first step is already made. You are now on the first steps on the way to extraordinarism, right? Great. So, I believe that nobody wants to be below average. We all want to be the best at something. We all want to be extraordinary. But the problem is, the system taught us that you should be grateful with a 9-to-5 job. And you shouldn't. You should get much more in life. You should get everything you want, okay? Please believe in yourself, follow your vision. And you owe it to your fucking family to become successful. It being your kids, your parents, your brother, your sister, they need you, okay? If something goes wrong and there is no brother or sister that can help them out, they need you, okay? You are there to make lives better. And not just for the money, maybe they already have money, but to see you as the winner that you are deep in your heart. Just go for it, man. I mean, what do you got to lose? That 9-to-5 job that fucking sucks, where you go every day with a fucking bad stomach feeling and you're there like, oh, what the fuck am I doing here? That's not life, dude. You have much more in you. You got nothing to lose. There's 10 more jobs out there just like that. Now, I know that deep in your heart, you know that there's more for you in life, okay? Not just to be average. You want to be extraordinary. Everybody wants to be extraordinary. So, all I'm saying is, be the best version of yourself in the universe. Go out there, have a vision for yourself, get the right mindset, and start to bank in. All right, in the end, like I said, it doesn't have to be so damn complicated. Easy does it, okay? With a strong vision, you will step into that vision and you will become that vision, okay? This is what successful all have in common, all right? The first step is made and you reach your first goal. So now let's get to the next goal. Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any questions, feel free to send me a DM on Instagram or Telegram and I will get back to you as soon as possible. You can find the links below in the comment section. All right, guys, have a good one and try to keep your vision alive. Make sure you see yourself in the future, write down your vision, see every detail as clear as daylight, and I'm sure you are going to make it too. Thank you guys, have a good one.
Tonight I'm heading out beyond the reef, where my grandfather taught me how to read the sea. The moon above is showing me the way, like generations did in their own days. I cast my net into the gentle swell.